Hello everybody, this is Jeffrey GT7 and welcome to the episode. In this episode, we'll be covering yet another combo episode at Tokyo Expressway using the Renault Mégane Trophy Group 4 race car. And for the other car, it's going to be the Mercedes-Benz 190E at Tokyo Expressway. And both these builds are requested. The first one is a Reddit request, and then the other request, which was the E90 or E190, was a request from the channel. So hopefully these two builds I have for Tokyo Expressway will help you out. And let's say if they do not help you out, then I will highly recommend just saving these cars and try them out for Le Mans, just to be a substitute build, just in case if the Tokyo build does not work out. So I'll be covering both cars, how to find them, the parts, the setups, and of course both races. So without any further ado, let's get straight into the episode. So in order to find the Renault Mégane Trophy car, here it is right here at the showroom. It's going to cost you about 350,000 credits, and it is a Group 4 race car, so this car can also be eligible to be in the Le Mans race as well. After you grab the car, let's go ahead and jump into the build. And here's the build I have right here. If you want to go ahead and just pause the episode, you can, which I would really recommend doing so. That's the first part of the list. You can see we've done a couple of stuff to this car to try to maximize both the speed and how it feels. This car actually does have a custom gearing, so if you want to go ahead and pause this section as well, you can. And the reason why I have a custom gearing is I'll explain a little bit later when we get to the race itself, but trust me, this is going to help you out, especially around some of the turns at Tokyo Expressway. And then for the last part of the build, which is of course the last bit, all we have here is high RPM turbocharger, a steering angle adapter, and that's pretty much going to be it for the build. So it actually is one of those very technical builds you have to just be very careful and be precise about at Tokyo Expressway. But let's go ahead and get started with the race. Now in this particular race, you can see I have it shown on replay cameras, and the reason why that is because in this particular race you do not need to worry about refuel. You should have enough fuel to last you for the rest of the race. It could be close depending if you have an automatic transmission or what kind of gearing you have for your speed. But the reason why I have such interesting gearing, especially from gears 3, 4, and 5, is because I actually ran this with the G29 wheel, and apparently for some reason with the Sport tires I've actually had a little bit of a very uncomfortable motion from the rear tires. Like they were gradually would get the car free enough where it actually spins out in like a low speed setting, which was very weird, especially the very first turn. There is a couple turns you have to worry about at this track for this car, so we're going ahead and right on the cockpit cam. This corner especially is one of those corners you can see there, right there. That's a good example. The car just getting a little bit loose from the rear end, and we had to actually catch it from correcting it from spinning out. You will occasionally have to worry about that from time to time. There is at least 4 corners I can think of that is a good possibility for that car to actually do that sway. That one corner from the overpass is a very good example. Right up here is another good example, over this top of the hill. And of course the very tricky hairpin is the other spot, and then I think the very most challenging spot is going to be the very first double apex at the first turn of the track. But despite that, with the issues with the swayiness from the rear of the car, it's not too bad. I mean, you can see we're within the top 5, so we've actually made up some good spots. And since this car is a Group 4 race car, your main thing that's going to help you out in this race is going to be handling. Now, I did the best I can to have as much horsepower into the car, that way it'll be able to stick closer to the main leaders. But the speed, I will not get your hopes up for the speed. You should be within pretty much close to the 180s, which isn't too bad, but considering everything else, not too much to really put your eggs in one basket per se. Now, one thing you're going to try to do early in the race is you're going to go ahead and switch to 6th gear. That way this will help eliminate those RPMs, and you'll be able to save some fuel by doing that. Now, I would recommend doing that for a couple laps, just in case if your laps remaining those aligned with finishing up the 12th lap, the last lap. And it just depends of how long you have to do this. But to really have the strength of the car to really showcase the full potential speed is that main straight, just riding in 5th gear if you want the most speed. But I would recommend, just to save you some fuel, be in 6th gear for a couple laps and then try to pursue to be in the 5th gear on that main start finish straight if you do have enough fuel to burn. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to let you guys watch the rest of this clip. It's basically from me climbing all the way from the back toward the lead. If you want to watch the rest of the action, you can, or if you want to fast forward to the end of the race, you can. Until then, I'll see you guys at the end of the race. Alright, so as we get done with the first race, the car generally didn't do too bad. You can see the lap times around the 209 from start to finish, so the car got some decently good pace overall. Without making that pit stop, also a huge benefit, finish up with a 26:09 for a total time. Now I do know there's some cars out there that can easily break that record, but considering what kind of car we have, I think overall that's a pretty decently good build. Got ourselves that standard bonus, and that's going to be it for race number 1. Race 2. To find the Mercedes-Benz 190E is right now limited time at the used car or the Legends car dealership, and the next time it will show up in the game, unfortunately the price of the car will go up, which is quite unfortunate to see that, but that is how you get the car in the game. After you grab the car, here is the livery I'll be using for this episode. Now if you want to go ahead and just pause the episode and just, copy the hashtag you see on the screen and be able to search that livery up, you can. Or if you follow me in the game, Jeffrey GT7, I should have it in my newsfeed as well. After you grab that livery, if you want to, here are the parts you'll need from car customization, and just like before, I would just recommend if you just go ahead and just pause the episode, and that way you'll be able to know what parts you'll need into the car, and most of these parts are going to be a huge benefit, especially when it comes to the PP range, and also going to help out with the handling as well. So after you grab your parts from car customization, here is another technical build I have for this particular car at Tokyo Expressway. So just like before with the first build, if you want to go ahead and just pause the episode and make sure you have the right numbers on practically every single category you have on your list, just seeing how pretty much critical it is. Now the good thing is we did not touch the transmission, so whatever you see on the number is what you'll get. Here's the second part of the list, and you can see we basically bought almost every single part you can think of at the tuning shop for this car. The only thing we didn't have on the car is the brakes. The brakes are going to be pretty much set to normal for both the system and for the pads. Everything else, make sure you have it on the car, and you should be good to go. So as soon as we get the brakes started, as you might can tell, the acceleration of this car is lacking a good bit, but our car is on the light side, which is good. It's going to be a really good car to use for the top speed, the straights. So the car overall should be at least second fastest behind the GTR, just by a little bit. But for this car, you do have to brake a little bit early for this car, since we have the stock brakes and brake pads in this car, and this car was actually a little bit tricky to master compared to the Mégane trophy car. For it to be a little bit slightly older, and just the way it's probably shaped and all the other stuff, it was a little bit challenging, but I felt pretty comfortable with the car somewhat. But there are some spots on this car that it's a little bit tricky to pretty much have control over. You'll just have to get used to the car and just do your best with it, even with the wheel. There was some parts of the track I just didn't really feel too comfortable about with this car compared to the Renault, which was quite a little bit surprising considering of how legendary and how smooth the car is. As we get through this corner, we're going to make a nice move on the GTR, putting ourselves P7 very easily. But like I said before, this was quite a challenge race for us in this car. It may not look like it, but trust me, whenever you do get behind the wheel and you try to drive this car, it's going to be a little bit on the loose side, especially the hairpin. In my opinion, that's probably going to be the weakest link for this car. It's going to be lean toward the hairpin. Having to brake extremely early, lean toward it, and just having to basically wait till you're at the end, and you can just see how much time we've lost just trying to get ourselves to grip to finish up that corner. That's going to be the main theme for this race for you to struggle. It's going to be that hairpin, so it's going to be a little bit of tricky to navigate it, but thankfully, like I did say, the top speed isn't too bad. You should be at least P2 when it comes to the top speed game, right behind the GTR by a little bit. So that's our first stop at 223. P7, so a little bit further back than we're accustomed to in this race, but as you can see here, we're going to easily bypass the Porsche, moving ourselves to P6, and fast forward to later in the race to lap number 6. And yeah, it did take us a long time to get toward the front because we just couldn't quite put down a very good lap because of the hairpin. We have caught up with the GTR the Honda NSX has went ahead and made its scheduled pit stop, so we have caught up with the GTR. Gonna go ahead and make a move right on its left side, just like we did with the other green Mercedes-Benz GTR, and that's going to be us grabbing the lead for the race. Now, we're going to enter in phase 2 of this race, so once we are about to finish up lap 6 and entering lap 7, I'm thinking about trying to do a non-stop strategy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and basically switch my fuel map range from 1 to 3, and from that point on throughout the rest of the race we're going to be in this map mode until we reach to the last lap. So the main thing to do with this particular map mode is these corners right here I'm about to show you. You need to be in 4th gear for this particular car in order for you to really get the real stretch your fuel. I mean, you could go 3rd here, but like I said before, I would recommend this whole entire section here to be in 4th gear. Not only will you save fuel, but I think you would also might have a better chance to have better grip through these corners whenever you get back on the gas as well. So that could also help out with the handling as well if you want to try that. And after you do that for a couple laps, we're then going to reach to the last lap, to lap 12. We're actually 0.7 off to finish up the rest of the race. That's where we're going to hit extreme fuel save mode all the way to number 6. And thankfully, after that particular lap, we did the same thing we've been doing the whole entire race. We did have enough fuel to back it down to number 4, and right before we get to stripe, we're going to move it back down to number 1, and that's going to be it for the race. So this does take a little bit of fuel saving and fuel strategy for this particular race. But yeah, 26.29 was the best we could do for this car. I just felt that if I probably was on the controller, I probably could have gone faster. But a little bit disappointed it didn't go as smoothly as I thought it would, but I did try the best I did, and I would recommend if this car was more of a Le Mans build than a Tokyo build. But there you go, got ourselves that clean race bonus, and that's going to be it for the episode. So here's the next preview of the episode. I noticed that we have ourselves the Honda NSX Castrol 2000 Group 3 race car back in the Legends car dealership, so I'm going to throw this car into the Le Mans 700 race. Very easy car to actually nerf to make the credentials for this race. I'm going to do this one car with this race. Plus, if you guys notice, I do have a interesting blue camo livery on this car, which I've actually have pre-made. I will share that in the next episode. If you would like to have this livery, you're more than welcome to have it. It's just almost the same exact decals on the car. I just had the modern Castrol look decal to the car, and of course having that crazy blue camo on the top of the car with a red stripe and the green layer base on the bottom of the car, which I thought looks pretty cool overall on the car. And after we get done with the talk about the Group 3 Castrol NSX, we're going to do another request build. This time it's going to be using the Audi R8. Now, I've done this Audi R8 a couple episodes ago at Tokyo Expressway, and someone asked a request build to do this car at Le Mans. So that's going to be the particular build for the next episode. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, go ahead and leave a like. If you'd like to see more of my content later down the road, when I go ahead and turn on notifications and hit the subscribe button as well. Here is a quick look at the last episode if you want to check at it too. And hopefully you guys have a great rest of the day or night to where it might be. And I'll see you guys later, and take care.